that was interesting. I don't know if you all heard that on your end. Yeah, this meeting is being recorded. All right, thank you, Zoom. All right, everyone, happy Tuesday. Let's go ahead and find a comfortable seat. Welcome to Express Class with Ellen. I'm just gonna start my timer here so I don't go over 20 minutes. And today our theme is gentle seated yoga and stretch. Every Tuesday we change our theme in our workout. So this is gonna be more of a movement-based class, not so much a workout. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, so we are focusing more on recharge elements and wanted to dedicate an entire class to just stretching and some gentle seated yoga poses and postures. So if you've never done yoga before, you're in the perfect spot. So we are starting seated, and I like to sit on my block. A pillow also works really well. So if you have tight hips, this sort of allows them to open up a little bit since we're slightly elevated. All right, so nice and comfy. I have my nice big comfy shirt on. It is all about being comfortable today. We're not really pushing limits as we would normally do with other classes. This is all about feeling comfortable. Some of our stretches might be a little uncomfortable if we're tight, but other than that, you should feel good and even better after the session. Okay, so let's first start with just a little bit of breathing. And I want you to place your right hand on your chest and your left hand on your belly. Feel free to join me in closing your eyes. Feel free to keep your eyes open, whatever works for you. But I want you just to focus on your breathing for just a moment here and to check in with your body and just sort of do a scan. So most of our other workouts and other classes, we're really pushing our bodies. We're pushing ourselves to the limits. We don't always focus on the recovery and the stretching and mobility part. So that's what today is all about. So as you inhale, I want you to feel your lungs fill up completely. Big deep breath. Feel the chest and belly rise, and then exhale, allowing your body to sink a little bit deeper into the mat or the carpet, the floor, wherever you're at. So a couple more deep breaths. Try in through the nose, out through the nose. Think of breathing in positive vibes, positive energy, and exhaling out anything negative. Anything that's holding you back today, causing anxiety, tension in your body. Let that go. And if your eyes are closed, feel free to open them back up. And just for a moment here, I want us to practice a long count breathing. And this is just so that we can build up our lung capacity, which is really good for if we get sick, and also will help us be more efficient in our regular workouts, cardio and strength. So you're gonna breathe in for 5 counts. So nice and long, and then you're gonna exhale out for 5 counts. So you can close your eyes back again, place that hand and chest back on your hands back on your chest and belly. But big deep breaths, you're gonna inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then exhale out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's try it one more time. So really deep breath for 5 counts. Inhale 5. Nice big deep breath. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale out for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So you may have found that was a little challenging to breathe in for that long and to breathe out for that long. But practicing that will help you become more efficient in your breathing for your lungs and for all those other types of workouts. Okay, let's go ahead and start to roll those shoulders. So not all of our class today will be seated, but most of it will be. But we'll move around a little bit as well. One more shoulder roll. All right, so we're gonna keep those hands on our knees and we're gonna do a cat-cow, but in this seated position. So as you inhale, I want you to press your chest towards me, and then exhale, you're gonna pull away. You can draw that chin into your chest. And then again, inhale. So I'm sort of drawing those elbows back, squeezing my shoulder blades together, and then exhale. So really exaggerating that movement. This is a great stretch for that lower back. So we're gonna hit all those tension areas, neck, back, hips, all those areas that get tight when we sit all day at our desk. So again, inhale, chest forward. Almost imagine your hips pulling back in the opposite direction, and then exhale, drawing that belly button in towards your spine. And we'll do it one more time. Nice big cat-cow. Inhale and exhale. Perfect. Just keeping my stopwatch there. Okay, so now we're gonna do some circles. You might seem a little funny doing this, but it feels really good. So big circle to the right. We'll do a couple here. So forward and then back, creating the biggest circle that you can with your chest. So this is great to open up through our chest and shoulders, which do become tight throughout the day as we're rounding back, stretching out that low back, right? And feel free to move your hands a little bit with this. Remember this class, we are going to be pretty comfortable, not about pushing our limits today, and then let's reverse those circles. We do that every other day, right? So I really want you to focus on just stretching here. Think of it as a recovery day. So a couple more circles. Think of sort of the chest leading and making the circles with your chest. You're having a hard time making those circles. Good, let's do one more. Okay, awesome. And anytime, feel free to adjust your seated position. I'm gonna change mine now. Sometimes sitting like this for too long bothers my hips. I'm gonna come right onto my shins. You can feel free to stay right where you're at, or you can follow me. All right, let's come back to those shoulder rolls. Inhale, bringing them up. Exhale, tucking them down into your back pocket. Ever since Alicia used that cue, I'm loving it. So shoulders up to those ears and tuck them down into your back pocket. One more big shoulder roll. Okay, so we're gonna use that 5 count breathing for a forward fold, okay? So inhale, 5 counts, big deep breath. And then exhale, you're gonna allow the arms to fall down and walk out as far as you can. Remember, 5 counts is 1 breath. Nice long breath for 5 counts, and then inhale, stack your vertebrae for 5 counts. So really just think of taking a very long, deep breath, and then exhale. Two more times. Big inhale, walk it back, fill it up completely, and then exhale, let it go. You can exhale out through your mouth if that feels more comfortable. Let's do it one more time. Inhale, nice and gentle, right? So be our last time. Exhale, walk it out. One long, deep breath. And then inhale brings us back to our regular position. All right, so now we're gonna do a side stretch. Inhale up. Exhale, you're gonna allow that right arm to fall down and bring that left arm up and over. So a little more dynamic before we go into a static stretch. So dynamic meaning more movement. So inhale, I want you to rotate your shoulder and chest to face the floor. Exhale, rotate it up to the ceiling, towards the sky. Look at your elbow. Let's do it again. Inhale. And exhale, dynamic movements here before we go into a static hold. Just to get that body a little bit warmer. Let's do it one more time. Inhale, rotate down. Exhale, you're gonna hold this for a couple breaths. Here's that static hold. Gaze at your elbow, press down into that left hip, find an extra inch of space. Inhale, up to the center. Exhale, now the left arm falls. And we slowly start to reach that right arm to the side. So you're gonna feel a big stretch in that side body, which also tends to become tight when we sit all day. Especially if we're just not moving and not rotating and turning in our chair either, or getting up a lot. So inhale, rotate down. Exhale, lift up. Gaze at your elbow. Let's do it again. 3 more times. Inhale. And exhale. Last 2. Big deep breaths. Last 1. We're going to hold that gaze right here. Looking up at that elbow. Also keeping those shoulders away from your ears, right? Press that right hip into the floor. 1 more breath. Excellent. Inhale up and then exhale. Hands come down. Perfect. So let's come out of the seated position for just a couple of minutes here. We're going to come to a nice tabletop position. And we'll come back to this cat-cow, a more traditional cat-cow, with those hands under our shoulders and knees under our hips. So as we inhale, we're going to drop the belly, lift the chest and the tailbone, and then exhale, we pull the chin into the chest, we round the spine. So I'm going to switch this one up on you as well. Next time, inhale, I want you to come forward a little bit. Think of like a cat. Going forward, and exhale, I want you to come back. You're still doing that rounding of the spine though. So feel free to add a little more movement to your cat-cow. Forward, and then exhale. And let's do it 2 more times. Inhale, you're sort of sinking into the mat. Exhale, lifting away from it. And then 1 more time, inhale. And then exhale. So let's do the circles that we did seated, also in this tabletop. This is a great stretch for your wrists. Coming forward just slightly. And then coming back around. And let's go in the other direction. Nice circles. You can just have your toes relaxed here. You can have them tucked under. This session is all about being comfortable, so whatever works for you. 1 more circle. All right, so I do want to build a little bit of heat and just go into one basic yoga flow, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and bring those hands a little bit closer to the top of the mat. Spread the fingers, we're gonna tuck the toes as we inhale, and exhale, we're gonna lift those hips up to the ceiling, downward facing dog. Go ahead and pedal those heels out. I want you to relax your head here. Hold that down dog, so you're gonna nod your head yes, shake your head no, press your chest towards your thighs. 1 more breath. And then inhale, we're gonna roll forward into a nice strong plank position. Stacking your shoulders right on top of those wrists. This will be a little bit of work here. Exhale, we're gonna lower those knees. If you don't wanna go into your belly, you're gonna press back into a child's pose. If not, follow me down and lower your chest and belly to the floor. Untuck your toes, they're nice and flat. Inhale, we lift for baby cobra. So shoulders out of your ears, right? Or you're in a child's pose, and then exhale, retuck the toes. Down and back into your down dog. So let's do it 2 more times just to build the heat, and that will be it for this sequence. Inhale, plank, tuck those hips under just slightly. Exhale, either back to child's pose or lower all the way down. Untuck your toes, nice and flat. Inhale, lift. Elbows in. Exhale, retuck the toes. Down and back, down dog. Let's do that 1 more time. So I'll be silent for this one. You can go at your own pace. Just make sure you're inhaling and exhaling. Last one. Once you're done, find a nice child's pose. Knees wide, feet together, sitting back. I want you to think of pressing your chest towards the mat. If you're having a hard time dropping those hips, use that pillow or block and just place it right underneath those hips. Same thing for the forehead. I like to place that block right in the center and I rest my forehead on it. So whatever is comfortable for you, a couple more breaths. Again, checking in with your body because every day we feel different. So find what you need today. All right, let's slowly walk those hands up. Okay, we're gonna get into those hips. So before we could do our seated stretch, I want you to either grab a towel or fold your mat. We're just gonna come into a lunge, a low lunge. So I like to fold the back of my mat. We'll start with that left leg. If you have those yoga blocks, those are great to use right here. So with that lunge, you want to think legs on a railroad track, okay? So you want to also make sure your hip, ankle, and knee are also in line. So we don't want that leg right in front of the other leg because then you might lose your balance and fall over. So think of railroad tracks. Hold this right here. These blocks are really helpful for me. So I find that I strain a lot to try to reach the floor. So blocks are really helpful. Even small foam rollers you can use, as long as your hands can be supported. If you have a hard time reaching the floor, these are really helpful. So we're just dropping our hips. We're feeling that right hip flexor stretch. Okay, a little bonus. We're gonna lift up. I want you to squeeze your glutes just a little bit for me. And imagine you're zipping up a tight pair of pants, okay? Inhale, let's reach those arms up. And then exhale, we're gonna draw our elbows down. We call this cactus pose. I'll just show you from here. Cactus pose in yoga, or think of like a goalpost, all right? Inhale, we're gonna lean forward just slightly, and we're gonna squeeze our elbows together. Exhale, we're gonna come back to the top. And let's try it one more time. Inhale, we lean forward slightly and bring those elbows in. Exhale, pull your elbows apart. For a little extra, press your chest forward, maybe take your head back. You can even lower those arms and squeeze your shoulder blades together, maybe interlace your fingers. I want you to press into your back leg, push your shin into the floor so you engage your core muscles a little bit. Did you feel that difference? Hopefully you should have felt your core muscles engage a little bit more. One more breath. All right, and you can release those arms. Gently lean forward, maybe move around a little bit here, getting into that hip joint, and then let's slowly lean back and do the other side, okay? Same thing. So make sure you have that extra support for your knee because we are here for about a minute or two. So same thing, just sort of working into this hip, maybe moving around a little bit. All right, let's lift up. I want you to squeeze that back glute. Stitch your rib cage together so core is working to hold you up. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, let's draw those elbows down. Here's our cactus. Inhale, we lean forward just 2 times. Exhale, elbows come apart. Let's do this one more time. Inhale in and exhale. So you're gonna hold it here. Maybe you pull them further apart from one another. You lift the chest. Maybe those arms come down. And you really open up through your chest and shoulders. Maybe take your gaze up. Push into that back leg. Press your shin into the floor. One more breath. Ooh, big stretch. And then slowly release. Very gently sort of lower down to that thigh. Move those hips around a little bit. We're going to come back to seated. All right, so let's come back to seated. So we normally do the next stretch on our back, but I just wanted to do it a little bit differently so I can show you all some different stretches than from what we normally do in class. So legs straight out, and we're going to use the strap if you have it or a t-shirt for this portion. So we're just about done. Shake those legs out. So let's go ahead and bring that right knee into our chest. I want you to reach underneath, and this would just be like you're on your back and doing that knee to your chest. So you can sort of make circles here, get into the hip joint. Keep that chest up. You can even be resting against a bench or the wall for this if your hamstrings are super tight. All right, now we're going to open that up to sort of the half butterfly. You're going to press that foot right on the inside of your thigh. And now let's make sure that our left leg is straight out in front of us, okay? You're going to grab your t-shirt or your strap and place it on the ball of your foot. Okay? And again, you want to make sure that foot isn't sort of rotating in or rotating out. We want it nice and square. So take a nice inhale, and then exhale, press your chest forward. Notice how it didn't say fold forward. Press your chest forward. Now, if you have that flexibility, maybe you can reach for that foot. Hold it for a couple breaths. We want our chest to press forward, our hips to pull back in the opposite direction. So right here, doesn't look like I'm doing anything, but trust me, I feel this. That's how tight my hamstrings are. We don't have to have a death grip on that strap. I sometimes forget that. Remember, relax the shoulders. Take an inhale, exhale, maybe you go an inch or a centimeter further. Nice stretch behind the legs. Sometimes our back pain is really just from tight hamstrings. So want to make sure we get it nice and stretched out. All right, let's slowly come back up. Great job. Let's shake that out. And let's do the same thing on the, before I forgot. Let's keep this right here, I forgot. A twist. So if you don't want that knee close to your belly or to your body, just keep that knee out to the side, okay? Right hand behind us. You're gonna take this left hand and just gently push into your knee. Once you sit nice and tall here, imagine a piece string the top of your head, nice and tall. And then as you exhale, start to look over that right shoulder. Nice and easy. So with this twist, you don't have to worry about that leg going over to the side, your hips moving, or pressing something up against your belly or your chest. One more breath. And then back to the center. All right. Other side. So now we have our right knee. Left knee, just kidding, left knee. Other side, whatever that is for you, right? Hands under your knee. And maybe a little couple circles here. I don't know if you can notice, but this is my really tight side. I can even bring my knee to my chest. That's why I try to find stretches where I don't have to do that, because it's actually pretty uncomfortable for me. All right, so foot right here on the inside of that thigh. Same thing, you're gonna press that knee down right as much as you can. Take that t-shirt or strap. Oh, just past 20 minutes here on my stopwatch, almost done. I have one more thing after this for you all. Okay, so again, nice and straight, foot is square. Take an inhale, and then exhale. We're just pressing our chest forward. Imagine your hips pulling back in the opposite direction. And of course, after class, if you want to do this even longer, you're more than welcome to. We'll just hold it here for a few more seconds. Bring your toes to your nose. Take another inhale. Exhale. Can you go another inch or centimeter forward? All right, and let's slowly release that shirt or strap. Go ahead and keep that knee onto the floor. We're just going to twist over that opposite side. Okay, so this time it's that right hand. You can gently press that knee down and away. Sit up nice and tall, and then when you're ready, look over your shoulder. I first want you to lengthen your spine, and then start to add that twist. One more breath. And back to the center. Awesome. So I wanted to end with one last stretch / pose. It's called legs up the wall. And you may have done this before if you've taken a yoga class, but it's really great to just allow the blood flow back to the heart, and helps to reduce swelling in the ankles and the feet. Feels weird at first if you've never done it. You can watch me. I'm just going to get set up to my wall. If you're not close to a wall, go ahead and find that spot. Maybe today you just want to watch how I do it. So I'm going to scoot all the way up to the wall here. And then I'm just going to start to walk my feet up. And it's literally just legs up the wall, like this. Okay? Now, if you didn't want to be flat on your back, you can elevate your torso by placing a pillow underneath your back. So lots of options here. We're just going to hang out here for a couple of breaths. You can get all the way up to that wall. You can place a block under your hips here. That's a little more comfortable. I always like to reach my arms overhead so I get a little extra stretch for my shoulders. And if you're completely flush with the wall, then you'll get sort of an extra stretch for your hamstrings and your legs. I invite you to just close your eyes here for just a moment. Probably the hardest part of class, try not to think about anything but your breath. Focus on your breathing. giving your body the rest, the stretch, the recovery that it needs and deserves. And the break that your mind also deserves. Slowly start to flutter your eyes open if they were closed. Maybe start to wiggle your fingers and toes a little bit. And start to bend your knees and walk those heels down. Of course, you're more than welcome to stay here, but our session has ended, so we're just going to bend those knees and just gently roll over to one side, sort of like you're in a fetal baby position, and then just gently pull yourself up. Not the most graceful getting out of that pose, but it does feel really good. And then our last breath together, if you'd like to join me here, we're gonna reach those arms up, big deep breath. We're gonna bring those palms together as we exhale, then down to heart center, closing our eyes for a moment and thanking yourself for making the time for you today. You are loved and we are all here for a purpose. We'll open our eyes and we'll say namaste, which really just means the light in me honors and sees the light in you. So thank you all for staying a couple extra minutes. You could obviously stretch all day. I hope you enjoyed this class and hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Good job, everyone.